This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk with Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young on ESPN Radio 94.1.
And 757 Saturday Sports Talk is brought to you by Larry King Law. If you're injured in an accident, you call 757-INJURED for Larry King with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matt Hatfield, and at this time, Ed, we're joined by a special guest. He's been on the program before. He is the basketball director of the brand new, and my goodness, I've been there a couple times. It is mighty impressive. Virginia Beach Sports Center over there, right there near the oceanfront. He played his high school basketball at Cape Henry Collegiate, where he was a standout, and also Central Connecticut State University. We say hello to Terrell Allen here on ESPN Radio 94.1. Terrell, how's this Saturday morning treating you here in November?
How you guys doing? Appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate it.
Our pleasure. And I want to give a kudos to you and your staff. I've been over there a couple of times, and the pictures and videos, while mighty impressive, they just don't do it justice how gorgeous that place is over there at the Virginia Beach Sports Center. And you guys have done a terrific job of doing all the proper things when it comes to the social distancing measures and making sure it's a safe and good environment for everyone over there. So a nice job by all of you, and that place is as good, if not better, than advertised.
Yeah, we appreciate that, and we've been working hard and just adjusting. It seems like a week, every week. That we get another curveball thrown at us. But, I think that's, just the times that we're in and just trying to do it safely, more importantly, and keeping the kids active.
Well, it is the East Coast's newest and largest indoor sports complex, and what we had you on back several weeks ago. For those unfamiliar with it, tell everyone what is there at the Virginia Beach Sports Center, what you've been able to do so far, and kind of what the hopes are with it, because it's more than just a basketball facility. You have volleyball courts and a track as well.
Absolutely. So we are a 282,000 square foot indoor facility that has 12 basketball courts and a state-of-the-art indoor track arena, that has 5,000 seats. We will be hosting NCAA National Track Championships in the future, starting in 2023. So we are very excited, for the building. And so far we've been having some mostly just volleyball and basketball going on, some adult leagues, some youth volleyball events, and some youth basketball training. So, a little bit of a slower start than we had expected for, but, we're excited to just be able to get going and, crawl before we start running.
Hey, Terrell, Ed Young here. Congrats on your opening so far and getting through it. And I know you got to be nervous with the COVID restrictions and that, and now that some other ones have come up. We're going to talk a little bit further about that. But first of all, let the people know you got a big basketball event, if I'm not mistaken, next Saturday.
Yes, FESHAM. We will have a roughly around 40 teams that will be hosting next Saturday 21st and Sunday. We've had to extend it, trying to get creative to, still make the event happen, but have some very high level talent from in the area, out of the area. Just, a couple of names: Donald Hand Jr., Jaden Epps, Avion Spinner from North Carolina. So we'll be doing boys and girls teams as well. So I'm really excited about it. And just got to, figure out a way with these new guidelines to get it done.
Well, and like we said, with the guidelines now, it's going to cut into spectators as the governor's new rule came out that we dropped from 250 all the way down to 25, which puts a crimp on, guys like you, promoters like you, to bring it in. I know you're trying to get the opportunity for kids to play, but at the same time, have fans watch, and then also put a little pocket change into the facility.
Absolutely. Definitely throws a wrench in. My our GM Amber Diancola said, Fridays just aren't our days, because it seems like every other Friday we're getting some type of new guideline that we're having to adjust, but. We're figuring it out, and this just came yesterday, so we have the weekend to crunch some things and just figure out what the best way on both sides is to get it done. We're blessed to even just be open. There's a lot of other people out there who are hurting way worse than we are. You know, people in the restaurant industry, people, you know, that are just trying to find jobs. A lot of, you know, unemployment going on out here. So you just have to count your blessings wherever they are.
Talking with Terrell Allen. He's the director of the brand new Virginia Beach Sports Center, director for basketball, that is, here on 757 Saturday Sports Talk on ESPN Radio 94.1. Terrell played his college basketball at Central Connecticut State, also a Cape Henry Basketball Hall of Famer, where he compiled over 1,000 points, over 1,000 rebounds in that rare 1,000 club for points and rebounds. It's ESPN Radio 94.1. And Terrell, I want to go back to your high school days when you were a senior. If you were where these kids are now and you hadn't made your college decision, or even if you had and you were gearing up for this season or not even sure if you're going to have a season, what would kind of be your mental thought process? And have you thought about this much? Like, man, if I was during this time, what would I do?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, it would be tough. You know, I think more on the mental, you know, of just being, you know, jerked around. Are we having a season? Are we not having a season? You know, especially being a senior. You know, I was blessed to have, you know, some colleges looking at me early on. So I was, you know, I signed during this, you know, signing period now. But if I was someone, you know, like you're cutting out a lot of the kids who kind of blossom during the year. You know, I think about, I can't remember the kid's name exactly, but from Menchville, who was able to go to Wichita State.
Oh, Chauncey Jenkins, yeah.
Exactly. You know, you're thinking about a kid like him who may not have that opportunity to blossom and to get that, you know, go from, you know, under-recruited to a school like Wichita State. So, you know, I think for the kids, you just kind of have to be locked in and, you know, just keep just trying to be positive as much as possible. But I think on the recruiting standpoint is, you know, and that's something I tell parents is you have to take your recruitment into your own hands. You know, you have, you know, great coaches like yourself, Coach Young, who do a great job. But at the end of the day, it's your future. So you have to be reaching out to the coaches 10 times more now than you were previously because all of these colleges are getting an extra year. So, you know, that cuts the amount of scholarships greatly that are going to be available. So I think, you know, it's just communication is going to be huge between everyone in the situation, high school coaches, AAU coaches, to try to, you know, get to the next level. But I think, you know, the kids just have to, the best way they can, just try to stay focused, you know, even if they can't get in the gym, you know, outside, you know, dribbling, it's getting colder, but I think it just comes down to how bad do you want it. You know, I think you'll see real quick, you know, when the season does start, if we're able to still have a season, you know, who's really and truly been, you know, working on their games because, you know, there hasn't been as much opportunity to get in the gym, et cetera.
Yeah, Terrell, and again, events like you're about to put on definitely helps. Now, unfortunately, this is not a time where Division I coaches or two, if I'm not mistaken, are allowed to come out and evaluate. They too have been put on restrictions too. But it's the idea of being able to have this out and about, kids are playing, and then the opportunity for maybe film of this session. I don't know if people take some film or are you guys streaming this tournament at all? Terrell?
You know, I've made even before this, I've made a, you know, decision to get Baller TV involved. So we will be streaming the event
nice.
online through Baller TV. If people aren't familiar, you can just go to ballertv.com and the event will be there and you'll be able to watch the games there.
That's great to hear. Baller TV and, of course, vbsportscenter.com. If you want to take a look at some of the pictures and all the activities that the Virginia Beach Sports Center has been doing and plans to be doing with the basketball courts, the volleyball courts, the track, which, as Terrell said, is going to have NCAA track championships, which is outstanding to hear, college track championships and high school championships in the very near future. Over 5,000 spectator seats, the 280,000-plus square foot facility right there by the ocean front. And, Terrell, what's been the reaction from those that have been in there, just some other coaches you've spoken to, athletes, and others in general? What have they kind of said about the facility?
Oh, they love it. We've gotten a ton of great feedback, and you know, we've had a lot of basketball events. So you know, that's obviously my lane. A lot of people are excited, and you know, just having the brand new facility, being able to get in there and have, you know, events like Feast Jam. But for me, you know, I don't know much about track, but I'm excited to get that track running and, see some of these best track athletes, get around that track, because it's awesome. And then, I want to see the pole vault, because I look up at that pole vault and say, wow, people are really going to, get up over there. So, the reaction has been awesome, and, we just can't wait to, really get people in there and really see it, have food and beverage going and, the whole 9 yards, but, the time will come, we'll get there eventually though, right?
Yeah, I agree with Terrell that we're going through a very, very tough time. Everybody's going through it. There is no normal. Everybody wants to go back to it. We just got to keep adjusting. And somebody in your situation, you're trying to put on events to keep kids active and busy, and you're trying to obviously promote a brand new facility. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm looking forward to getting a chance to see it myself. But what are there some other events that you're putting on coming up soon that maybe the fans out there need to hear about? Some other sports or whatever going on?
As of right now, the Feast Jam is the only thing that we have, going on in the near future. Depending on, how the high school season goes, because usually, by that time, that's why I wanted to do it in this area before the high school season was getting going. So depending on, hopefully there are no changes with that. But if something does happen, maybe we can do something else for the kids, so I guess it's, to be determined as of right now. But I hope and pray that the kids are able to play with their high schools and, be able to have that, because I just love the high school basketball. I love the structure and everything that comes with it.
Absolutely. And a last one for us here, Terrell, we appreciate you coming on the program and look forward to next week's event there, the Feast Jam at the Virginia Beach Sports Center. You were a decorated player here in this area, went on to play college ball, and also you've seen and gone up against some pros. So you know what it's like. What is so special about this 757 area code? I mean, I know just a couple weeks back on Halloween, the scene circuit was there with Stephon Welsh's event, which had, just a ton of talented prospects they're going to put at the next level, and some may end up being professionals one day. What is it about this 757 area code? Because you've ventured outside of the Commonwealth of Virginia and seen other talented guys, but our area is pretty special, and it can match a lot of other areas around the country when it comes to hoops, can it not?
Absolutely. I think we just have such a diverse of just true athletes, I remember going up and, seeing Percy Harvin, when I went to a ton of their games, and you had to get there right when the game started, because at halftime it was already 40-0, and it's really cool to come back and, see kids that, years ago were a lot younger. And I know Kanye is up in Massanutten now, but I remember seeing him, I think in, about sixth grade at a John Lucas camp at Boo Williams. But you just have so many athletes that, at the drop of the hat could switch between football and basketball and, baseball or what have you. And I think it's just, the hunger, you just have guys that just really want it and they're passionate. And that just comes from the coaching that we have in this area. We're not a large market like Atlanta, where I'm just coming from, where you have a, super influx of quantity. But I think we have some good quality here, where you can have teams like, the Kingsford, the Lancetowns of the world go out to D.C. and hold their own and say, hey, look, we can play too as well.
Indeed. Well, that's Terrell Allen, our guest here, the basketball director of the Virginia Beach Sports Center. VBSportsCenter.com is the website. You can take a virtual tour there and go on out to future events at the Virginia Beach Sports Center. It's right there, just a few short blocks from the oceanfront hotels, restaurants, and that famous Virginia Beach Boardwalk. Thank you so much, my friend. We appreciate the time, and we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.